Hello, my name is Ndisheni Carol Magweze, and today I'm going to be doing a dissection on a cow's kidney. So here I've already washed my apparatus with my household disinfecting products. Here I have my razor that I'm going to use to dissect. I'm going to use it in place of a scalpel. Here I have my cow kidney already sitting down on my kitchen cutting board. I'm using a kitchen cutting board in place of a dissecting tray. Here I've already laid my newspapers to protect the surface that I am going to be dissecting my cow kidney in. So here we're gonna start. So if you look closely on it, it looks like it's been cut into pieces, but it's not. These are called lobules. As you can see them, they are dividing the kidney just a bit. So on the outside of the kidney, there's a protective layer which is called the renal capsule. So the renal capsule protects the kidney from trauma and infection. So on the outside, before we dissect the kidney, here you can see when we open it up, you can see this part which is called the ureter. There's a bit of an opening here, so you can't clearly see it, but like I said, it's covered in fat, but you can see a bit of an opening. It is a ureter. There is the opening. The ureter is a long tube that takes urine from the kidney to the bladder. So when you turn it over a bit, here you can see another opening here. Another opening on my kidney, on this specific kidney, it was cut short. It was supposed to be longer. So this hole here, it's the renal vein. So the renal vein carries filtered blood out of the kidney back to the circulatory system. This is where it is. Just next to the renal vein, you can see another opening which is called the renal artery. So the renal artery takes oxygenated blood into the kidney for filtration. So that is all about the outside of the kidney. So now let's take a look at the internal anatomy. Put the kidney up like this to dissect it. I'm going to take my razor, which I'm going to be using in place of a scalpel. And then I'll start dissecting the kidney just like so. So here's my kidney dissected into half. So like we spoke about the nobles, you can still see them, and when we dissected these rooms, dividing here. So if you look closely, there's this brown darker layer, this part, which is more darker than this one. This part is called the cortex. It contains convoluted tubes and it initiates the filtration of blood. When you move, you can see a part that has a different color, which is a bit redder in color. This part is called the medulla. So the renal medulla is the inner region composed of pyramids, and it concentrates urine by reabsorbing water and salt. So next, there are renal pyramids. So the renal pyramids are cone-shaped tissues within the medulla. They are cone-shaped tissues within medulla. You can see inside the medulla, which is this part, this red part, you can see that there's a lighter color inside that goes like this, like a bit more of a triangle. So that part is called the renal pyramid. And the renal pyramid transports urine from the cortex to the calyces. So after this white part that you see here, this is called the renal pelvis, the white part. So the renal pelvis is a tunnel-shaped cavity that collects urine from the major calyces and channels it into the ureter. That's when the ureter transport the urine from the renal pelvis to the urinary bladder. So that is the internal anatomy of the cow's kidney.